Remember, you can listen to the Downright Upright Show with Philip Anthony every Saturday at 5 p.m. on radio or wherever you listen to podcasts. So come and join me and continue being fantabulous.
Greg Bakun here. Like you, I love good, fresh, delicious food. So I want to tell you about this treasure in Roseville called Maverick's Real Roast Beef. Maverick's has the best roast beef sandwiches I've ever had. Made fresh every order. Add fries or onion rings dropped in the fryer when ordered, and you have a winning combination. Maverick's Real Roast Beef has a lot more than roast beef, so check out their website, mavericksbeef.com, or check out their restaurant on Lexington in Roseville.
In the heart of the Northeast, there lies a hidden beast, a dragon's lair at the crossroad, guarded by the maiden Mother Crone. A treasure trove of spells galore, discover incense, books, jewelry, and more. Just as the oracles foretold, this is where your mystery unfolds. As the shadows creep and the veil gets thin, do not fear what lies within. Magus Books is where your journey begins. Visit us at 1848 Central Avenue Northeast in Minneapolis or online at magusbooks.com.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 39, then Tuesday, sunshine with a high of 67. For over 40 years, the Great Wall Restaurant has served up Sichuan and Mandarin favorites. They're located on France Avenue, a few blocks north of 50th Street on the Minneapolis-Edina City line. Place an order or view their menu at greatwallrestaurant.us.
Portion.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host, guest, random reptoid, or chupacabra may not necessarily reflect those of AM 950 Radio, its affiliates, or its sponsors. Now, it's time to step into the unknown. There are things people experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in the corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us. Share your story, share your experience, because this isn't just your story. This is our story. This is GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun.
And this is GhostBox Radio on AM 950, where every night we talk about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. My name is Greg Bakun. Thank you very much for joining me on this Monday evening. Really appreciate you joining us. We're calling this the kickoff to Paganicon this weekend, and we're really excited to have a pretty packed show. If you're watching us on Facebook right now, it kind of looks like the opening to the Brady Bunch, only by the way that there's all these squares. And, all I need, Evo, is I need you to look up at Cindy like she is literally above you. That would really be helpful right now. So that's kind of what we're trying to do right now. In all seriousness, no, we got a lot going on here tonight that we really want to get to. And like I said, this is the kickoff week to Paganicon that starts this Friday. And we're really excited for this. You've been hearing the commercials on the air. We've been talking about it during the live streams, and we wanted to bring on some of the folks who have been planning it, who have been working on it, as well as some of the featured guests. We're going to try to get through everybody and have a conversation about it. Once again, though, you can still go ahead and get tickets for Paganicon. It's this weekend. Is at you can go to tcpaganpride.org. I'm getting nervous. All these people are staring at me on the screen. I don't know what to do with myself. So I'm just going to go through the line here really fast, and then we're going to talk to Cindy and Lori. I have with me tonight Cindy and Lori, who work on the convention, and I've been working with Lori quite a bit for a couple months now while they've been leading up to this. I also have featured guests with me tonight. I have Dr. Beverly, I have Evo, and I have Witch Jody, which you may have heard on such radio programs as this one. And we're just going to have a fun night talking about this convention. I'm going to slow the mood down here a little bit because I want Cindy and Lori to talk about what Paganicon is and why it's so important for people to come out to this and enjoy this coming weekend. Cindy and Lori, how are you both tonight?
Oh, we're wonderful. How about you, Cindy?
Super excited for this weekend.
So why don't we start by talking about what Paganicon is for those who have not been listening to the commercials. Shame on you if you haven't. So what is it?
So it's a 3-day pagan event that we hold indoors. It's hosted by Twin City Pagan Pride and a host of volunteers who make this event happening. Everybody comes together to create community, and it includes 3 whole days of programming. We've got lectures, panel discussions, demonstrations, rituals, movement, and more. We've got a Friday night concert, which will be fabulous. We've got a masquerade Equinox costume ball on Saturday night, which is amazing. We've got party suites, which are hosted by a whole cadre of community groups and other people who want to provide a really great, relaxing atmosphere and educational atmosphere for our attendees. We have a third offering art gallery and print shop, which is one of a kind here at Paganicon. We've got a divination and healing services that we provide to our attendees. We've got professional people coming in providing the services, and I'll let Cindy talk a little bit about that because that's her area. And we've got a meditation room if you ever need to take a break or just kind of want to do something special or anything like that. And I'm going to let her talk about that too. We've got an author, artist, media signing events. We've got a hospitality suite and more. There's so much that's happening at Paganicon. So, and we've got a vendor room besides the vendor room and the art gallery. The vendor room, I do want to point out that the vendor room and the art gallery is free and open to the public. Everything else does require a paid registration. But I wanted to share something one of our presenters shared on Facebook. And I think in a nutshell, this really does describe what Paganicon is all about. And she wrote, the idea that folks know deep and wonderful things about an infinite number of topics and are not only happy, but thrilled to gather their thoughts and insights into a format to be shared with others is utterly magical. And that is really what it's all about. You've got people coming together who are possess so much wisdom, knowledge, and experience, and they're willing to share that with people who have questions and need answers to those questions. You've got people coming in who are just looking for connections. They want to find out, who are the grows, the covens and other groups that they can meet with regularly. And some people are just looking for inspiration. They just want to make connections. So people come for all sorts of reasons, but everybody leaves inspired and having a good time. And Cindy, do you want to add anything about that to what we do at Paganicon?
It's just a great place to meet like-minded people. It's great for beginners, people who are new to our community, both the local Twin Cities community and the pagan community in general. We have so many wonderful covens and different groups there that are always, looking to share their knowledge, wisdom, and hospitality with other people.
Now, one of the things that we talk about quite a bit here is the inclusion. And that is something that we hold very strong at the station as well. It sounds like there's so much stuff. What would you recommend to people who haven't been to the convention? It's going to be their first time. There's so much going on. You don't want to overwhelm anybody, which is great that you have rooms where people can just kind of come down and just kind of relax and chill a little bit. What would you recommend for people who are attending for the first time?
Well, number one, I would just say don't be afraid to ask questions. And that's what the people, especially like these wonderful presenters that we have here, are for. That's why they come to Paganicon. They want to share what they've learned and what they experienced, and they want to meet people. It's really interesting that so many people come together, and it's almost like for people who do this on a regular basis. It's a family reunion. So you're meeting up with old friends, but you've got the opportunity to make new friends too. And we look forward to that. We always love bringing in all kinds of people from everywhere and all facets of life into the community. So
that's exciting. Now, how long has Paganicon been going for?
So we started in 2011. Twin City Pagan Pride has been around since 1998, but we only started doing the indoor conference since 2011. There was only 1 year that we did not do the conference, and that was in 2020, and that was when everything was shut down during COVID.
Sure,
So.
Absolutely. Well, and Cindy is like dispersing in front of it. It's scary and sad at the same time. Oh, there you are. Welcome back.
Hey, I'm here.
It's funny that Lori's talking about COVID, and you do bring me right back to the COVID thing where everyone had their backgrounds and that they would like come in and out, disappear and stuff. It's like, is this some kind of throwback you're doing for us right now, Cindy, or is this?
No, I just don't have a very good space to. I don't have an office space here, so I'm like hiding my clutter in my messy room. So
yeah, I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. This is all a facade behind me as well. Trust me. So let's talk a little bit, because I want to get to the featured guests and the speakers in the next segment, if that's fine with you see down there. Can we talk a little bit about TC Pagan Pride itself, please?
So TC Pagan Pride is a 5013C nonprofit educational organization. And our platform is not only to be I guess the best way to say it would be a platform that provides the community to come together. We hold 2 events besides the one we're doing at Paganicon. We are also do a fall festival in September, and that is an outdoor park at Minnehaha Falls. And we do that because we try to show everybody, the general public, hey, we are here. We're pagan and we're here.
Yeah.
And it's a great place to dispel all the myths and debunk all the wrongful ideas about paganism and that kind of thing. So it gives us a great opportunity to educate the general public about who we are and what we do.
That's fantastic. And you said that TC Pagan Pride has been around since, you said, 98?
98. We started very small. I joined, I think in 2011, but I know in the very, very early years, we had just small gatherings that we kind of grew and grew and grew. And then there became a need where, we decided, okay, we wanted to do more concentrated educational venues, and that's where Paganicon was born. So
how do you feel about the growth of TC Pagan Pride since 2011, since you've been taking part in it? Is it really showing that there's a lot more people embracing this and it's feeling very healthy?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. When we started, we probably had about, and Cindy, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I remember right, we had about 250 people at our first conference.
Yeah, it was really small.
Well, and last year we had over 1,100 people at our conference.
Fantastic.
So we've been growing every single year, doing things, adding things differently. We didn't have the third offering art show to begin with. That was eventually added. We didn't have professional healers and readers. That was added. And we didn't have other things like the meditation room. So that was added. We just had pretty much one day a workshop. So one,
and we only had one guest of honor.
One guest of honor.
So we have so many wonderful speakers that come every year,
and they come from all over the states and overseas, all over the world.
That's fantastic. I mean, it really goes to show that, I guess in comparison, do you feel, and just not speaking as a convention, but speaking as an organization such as TC Pagan Pride, do you feel that is indigenous with other places in the U.S., or do you think that it's growing more in Minnesota?
Oh, I think it's growing all over the nation. And I know Ivo runs a conference as well, and he could probably speak to a lot of that. Doc Bev has been to conferences, and Jody's been around, and I think they can all speak to the growth of paganism. Or just in general, alternative religions, earth-based religions throughout, the country is just really growing.
That is fantastic. I mean, that's really exciting. Do you have any thoughts? And I'll open this up to everybody here because we have a couple minutes before we're going to break. Do you have any thoughts? What kind of broke open here to get people to take it to heart more?
I think honestly, people wanted to go back to their roots. They were tired of being mainstreamed, and so a lot of people broke away from it. I do believe in 2020 is when you see a really big uptake of people going back to what their ancestors used to practice, because we were so separated and secluded. And it gave an outlook that you could really take the time to research and look into things that you maybe didn't have time to do beforehand when you were running in the mainstream.
Mm-hmm. I think there's something very valid about that everyone, I think there was kind of a reset, wasn't there? Just in general, of people kind of being like, because there was a lot of uncertainty at that time.
Yes.
And I think people wanted to kind of get to maybe to themselves a little bit more, and self-care seemed to start becoming just a little bit more important as well. It feels like, to me at least.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely incredible. Why don't we go ahead and let's do this. I want to go ahead and take our first break. When we come back, let's go ahead and we'll talk to all of our featured guests. We'll talk to our speakers. We'll get a conversation going. If you have any questions, put them into the comments. We're talking about Paganicon all this hour. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950.
Twin Cities Pagan Pride is thrilled to host Paganicon 2024, March 15th through the 17th at the Crown Plaza, Minneapolis West Hotel. Come to Paganicon to experience deep community where people gather to learn, socialize, and get inspired. Check out all our featured guests and list of activities at tcpaganpride.org and register now for this incredible conference. Paganicon is a pagan conference offering workshops, panels, discussions, social space, music, a ball, vendors, and much more. Paganicon is an educational and social venue for pagans, Wiccans, heathens, druids, people of other folk, craft, indigenous, and magical traditions. Paganicon has a vendor room and third offering art gallery, which are both open to the public all weekend. Paganicon is a safe place, not only to be yourself, but to meet other like-minded individuals. Register now. Check out Paganicon's full weekend, day only, and special event rates. Go to tcpaganpride.org and click on Paganicon to register and get more details.
Greg Bakun here. Like you, I love good, fresh, delicious food. So I want to tell you about this treasure in Roseville called Maverick's Real Roast Beef. Maverick's has the best roast beef sandwiches I've ever had. Made fresh every order. Add fries or onion rings dropped in the fryer when ordered, and you have a winning combination. Maverick's Real Roast Beef has a lot more than roast beef, so check out their website, mavericksbeef.com, or check out their restaurant on Lexington in Roseville.
Reach your highest level of consciousness and well-being with metamorphosisconnections.com. Metamorphosisconnections.com is an online directory of the best holistic and metaphysical practitioners to help you make your most informed choices. You can search metamorphosisconnections.com for classes, events, wellness and life coaches, plus metaphysical products and shops. You can also search for a wide array of healers from all modalities, including EFT, sound healing, energy healing, light therapy, ancestral healing, shamanic healing, reflexology, past life regressions, hypnotherapy, yoga, and more. And if you're not sure where to start, the search feature on metamorphosisconnections.com is tailored to help both those who know what they are looking for and those who are just starting. Come explore the possibilities for your higher self by visiting metamorphosisconnections.com. Their experienced practitioners can guide both beginners and those that are already on their spiritual journey. That's metamorphosisconnection.com, your link to direct you on your spiritual transformation.
And welcome back to GhostBox Radio on AM 950. My name is Greg Bakun. What we're doing this hour, it's the kickoff to Paganicon 2024 that is happening this weekend, Friday through Sunday. You can go ahead, you can get tickets over at tcpaganpride.org. We've been spending the first segment talking about kind of the background of the convention and stuff, but let's get really into it. And I want to bring in our guests here who are speakers, they're featured guests. This is really exciting. And I see some questions in the comments. And so, Dr. Beverly, let's start with you. First of all, you've been very patient, and we haven't even spoken because we kind of started getting out. So, first of all, it's very nice to meet you.
Thank you very much. You would not believe my evening after I dashed home in traffic. Windows 10 decided that now is the time to upload. So it has been uploading for the last hour, and I've learned my lesson. And I am now I'm holding with my hot little hands my iPad. So that's why you're going to see a lot of bouncing and stuff. But anyway, thank you. Well met. My name is Beverly Smith, and I am known in some circles as Dr. Beverly. I am a hoodooist. I am a conjure doctor and a root worker. I specialize in the African American herbal folklore and medicine. So the medicine and magic of plants. And hoodoo is not to be confused with voodoo. The two terms are not interchangeable.
Nope.
It's a question I get every time.
Mhm.
Voodoo is an initiatory religion from Haiti. And hoodoo is a spiritual practice. It really does not matter what your religion is. You should know how to conjure. You should know how to manifest. The majority of Black Christians, majority of Black practitioners are Christian, and they do manifest and plead upon the blood of Jesus Christ for their manifestations, for their conjurations. It is sympathetic magic. We all know what that is. And we believe that roots, and in hoodoo, roots are the flowers, the stems, the sexual reproductive organs, the roots, the pollen of each plant. So roots is a catch-all phrase for every part of the plant.
And that makes sense.
Exactly. And we believe that every plant has power, that every plant has been imbued with power by the divine spark. I like to say the God of your understanding. God of your understanding. They've been imbued by power, with power, by the God of your understanding, and they can manifest change in your life. So that's, you can study hoodoo for your rest of your life, but that is just a quick synopsis of what hoodoo is. And I'll be at Paganicon this year. I haven't been back since 2019, and I'm so excited. I can't even tell you. I had the best time in 2019. I was a guest of honor in 2019. I'm finally coming back. It's very exciting. On Friday, I'm teaching protection conjure.
Oh, nice.
So you can stay safe. On Saturday, I'm teaching hoodoo in the graveyard. Yes, sir. And I would suggest that you come to my class before you step foot in that graveyard, because we're going to be handling crossroad work. We're going to be handling obtaining and paying for graveyard dust. We're going to be doing all that good stuff. So, we're not going to be going. It's not a field trip to the graveyard, but we're going to be discussing all of that. And then on Sunday, it's waters, powders, and jars. That's waters in hoodoo. We have, hoodooists believe that water is one of the fundamental building blocks of life. And we're going to talk about running waters, quiet waters, Florida water, war water, peace water, and also floor washes. We'll also discuss powders. In Hoodoo, powders are very easy to use. Back in the day, they used talcum. These days, we use arrowroot powder because talcum's not good for you. For those who haven't heard,
Right.
and the dusts and the powders include working with foot track dust and love powders and protection sachets and various amulets, and how you can use powders in your magical work, powders that you yourself create. There are recipes for every condition in Hoodoo. And when I say condition, I mean, do you need some love? Do you need some sex? Do you want a job? Do you want your boss to leave you alone? Do you want to be, do you want more abundance? Do you want to be safe on the road? Hoodoo is all about addressing conditions. It's about the practical issues, the practical needs that people have, people's practical wants and desires, but mostly what they need. And so I'm very excited because waters, powders, and jars, which is container magic, we'll be doing that on Sunday. So come out and see me, y'all. My name is Beverly Smith. I'm Dr. Beverly, and I'll be happy to see you.
I'm thinking too, when you're saying all this, is like, I mean, and you're just one of all these amazing speakers, and what you're offering this weekend, I can't help but think that there's people listening right now being like, I would like to know more about this. I would like to take part in this. And
I hope so.
And they may have never even thought about this type of lifestyle either. You know what I mean? That they're just like, whoa, okay. And one of the things that I'm taking away from this, which I think is very important, because there's so much stuff that we as humans discard, right? And that's like the roots. It's all the stuff that we don't, it's like it's stuff more will grow. This will happen, that will happen. But what you're talking about, Dr. Beverly, is respect for everything.
Yes, it's taking scarcity and drawing abundance from that. It's having respect for your ancestors. It's having respect for those who've gone before you. It's calling upon your wards and your guardian spirits. And as I said, in Hoodoo, it doesn't matter if you're a Christian, a Jew, it doesn't matter what stripe of pagan you are, as long as you come to the table with respect, as long as you come to the table with curiosity and with an open heart and understanding that all plants have energies, and make friends with those plants and understand those plants and seek their wisdom. And you will be able to work with those plants for whatever your needs are.
Yep.
Please tell me that you'd be open coming on my show again, and we could just have an hour just talking about.
I'd be happy to,
because I mean,
I would love it.
But we're not going to do anything like that until people go to Paganicon, because this is, I mean, there's no substitute for seeing this and interacting in these classes in person either.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yes.
So why don't we do this? First of all, I have one more question for you, Dr. Beverly, and that is,
Sure.
I think kind of along the lines Lori was talking about prior to the show starting, is what do these events like Paganicon, what do they mean to you?
Oh my goodness. Well, number one, I love Paganicon. I've only been one time, but I had such a great time. The people are amazing. I never once left the hotel because I had everything I needed there. The art show was probably one of my highlights. I mean, other than my classes, I loved it.
Yep.
But I really loved judging the art show. That was great. The vendors are amazing. And what I love are visiting the individual suites. I love the People of Color suite. Oh my goodness. They treated me like family. They gave me some Caribbean food when I was up in there because I am Jamaican. I'm a first generation American, but I am Jamaican through and through. And they had some jerk chicken up in there and some stew and some greens. Lord have mercy. It was a good time.
Well,
It was a good time.
And that's the great thing about these conventions in general, from even my background with different types of conventions, when people are able to kind of express themselves in these rooms. Some places are calling them party rooms. Some people call them other things, but it's these organizations that are putting on these little kind of mini rooms that people can enjoy and get a little bit of those personalities as well, which adds to the flavor of the overall convention, I would say.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Lori's got a good room. I may or may not have been up there doing karaoke and having a heck of a good time last year.
So we do, yes, we do a Druids of the party suite, the Midwest party suite. The Druids rock at Paganicon.
And I will tell you, Greg, I met Miss Dr. Beverly. I don't know if she remembers me back in 2019, but her and my son became very good friends. My son, Justin, who sat and talked to your ear up. We brought you to our room. We fed you.
I'm
his
sorry,
mom.
I don't remember
I'm
you,
witch
but I
Jody.
remember
I'm his
your
mom.
son.
Yeah.
Yes.
We practice the same thing. I don't practice hoodoo, but I am a witch. I practice witchcraft, and we were comparing notes. What Dr. Beverly doesn't know is I opened a store a couple of years ago. So I actually have a witchcraft store in Stillwater. And I had a hoodoo practitioner named Wes who has come in, and he did root magic and he taught classes. And I've got a whole bunch of stuff from the culture that I sell at my store that he has created. So I really kind of take care of the community that way. But my God, you guys, you got to go Dr. Beverly's classes. I mean, we're gonna be all talking about the same stuff, but I tell you what, we take it to a different light. We have different ways of doing stuff, but we had so much fun in 2019. So I'm really looking forward to
we may all have different ways, but what we all share is that we know how to use the energy.
Yes.
We know
we use that. Yes.
We we all work with herbs. All of us.
All of us do. Yes.
It says that we have different interpretations, but really we all work with energy.
It's the
and
energy.
We all believe in as above, so below, as within, so without. And that's what joins us all.
That's right.
Now,
and bringing in the elements too.
Absolutely. Now, I do want to get to Evo here because he's been very quiet and just kind of a lot of.
I've been listening.
A lot of after every comment. So let's Evo. Why don't would you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. Evo Dominguez Jr. Been around in this community for a very long time. I think I've been since like 1978 is when I started in all this. I know, and I have a very broad background in different kinds of other communities besides this one. And I think there's so many commonalities. And at the beginning of this, there was a question about why there's been an increase in, I don't have a good word. It's kind of like LGBTQI, whatever. There isn't a good word for pagan anymore because there's so many flavors and colors to talk about.
Yeah.
But here's the part I think is universal. When the world is not providing people with enough community or connection to the materials that they need or getting spiritual sustenance or any other unmet needs, guess what? They turn to magic. And there's 1,001 ways to do it right, but it all comes from basic human needs, and it's bread and roses. We need the essentials and we need the beauty. And that's exactly what magic is about, whichever flavor of magic it may be.
That's very
nice. I'm looking forward to seeing Dr. Beverly.
I'm looking forward to seeing you again, Evo. When I got on here and saw you, I'm like, wow, cool.
Yeah.
Great.
But Paganicon is important. All these events are important.
Absolutely. So what are you doing this weekend then?
Well, I am teaching a class on ritual leadership skills because I think that one of the most beautiful and important things that any practitioner can do is to help to facilitate experiences so that people might experience more than the day-to-day life. And I'm going to teach a class that is neutral or agnostic about which tradition you may come from, because there are a lot of things that are common actions, voice, stance, glance, patterns that help to make the magic happen because there is nothing more beautiful than stepping into somebody else's ritual. And I love going to these events because I get to experience rituals that I would never get to otherwise. And I learned so much about their way of doing things, and it also illuminates what I do. So class on ritual leadership skills. I'm also going to do a ritual, which is really about awakening the sky within. We've already had the as above, so below mentioned, right?
Yep.
So we're going to find the sky that lives inside us and then invite the sky above and bring the two together. So it'll be an interactive ritual. I'm going to have people chanting and so on. And then the sciencey, sacred science, because there's sacred science is the way I think of it. I'm going to talk about, this whole thing about moving from the age of Aquarius, from Pisces to Aquarius, and what does that all mean? And there's a lot of confusion around it. And we're smack dab in the middle of it, and we'll be for the rest of our lives. And any toddler around today is going to be still smack dab in the middle of it for the rest of their lives. But I think that there are changes culturally, politically, spiritually that are being sponsored by this transition. And I'm just going to make suggestions about things to be aware of so you might navigate a little bit better.
That's great. And
I'm going to be talking to a lot of people, hanging out with folks.
And going to be hanging out with a lot of people. As one should.
One should.
And Evo, I just got to say, you just have such a calming energy about you. It just, just explaining what you're going to be doing is just like, I'm in. And that's frightening in a way, I guess. Just tell me where to sit. I'll do that. So that's great. It's really, and I think that's the whole thing that I feel that we're getting from this roundtable is how everybody is so easily accessible, and that there shouldn't be any sort of hurdles if you've not been to one of these before, not experienced this, that there is so much that you can take away from it. And you could just there's so much happening at this convention and so many good things, but this is just a slice of what it is. And I guess that's the point I'm trying to make here. I don't know if I'm doing it well or not, but the idea of everyone is very approachable, and everybody has what they're teaching, and it doesn't overlap. It's all wonderful, and you're going to learn so much over the course of the whole weekend for sure. How exciting is that? Now, Jody, I haven't forgotten about you. Trust me. What we're going to do, let's take our next break. When we come back, we're going to go ahead. We're going to talk to Witch Jody. We're going to finish up talking about this wonderful convention. We're doing a kickoff to Paganicon 2024. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950.
Twin Cities Pagan Pride is thrilled to host Paganicon 2024, March 15th through the 17th at the Crown Plaza, Minneapolis West Hotel. Come to Paganicon to experience deep community where people gather to learn, socialize, and get inspired. Check out all our featured guests and list of activities at tcpaganpride.org and register now for this incredible conference. Paganicon is a pagan conference offering workshops, panels, discussions, social space, music, a ball, vendors, and much more. Paganicon is an educational and social venue for pagans, Wiccans, heathens, druids, people of other folk, craft, indigenous, and magical traditions. Paganicon has a vendor room and third offering art gallery, which are both open to the public all weekend. Paganicon is a safe place, not only to be yourself, but to meet other like-minded individuals. Register now. Check out Paganicon's full weekend, day only, and special event rates. Go to tcpaganpride.org and click on Paganicon to register and get more details.
Magus Books, your multicultural spiritual supply store. Stop in and expand your horizons with books, classes, readings, and supplies at magusbooks.com or in our shop at 1848 Central Avenue Northeast in Minneapolis. From the best incense to beautiful statues, we have supplies and books for your spiritual explorations. Come in and chat with our knowledgeable staff and get what you need for your next adventure, whether you're fighting ghosts or opening your third eye. Check us out today at magusbooks.com.
Reach your highest level of consciousness and well-being with metamorphosisconnections.com. MetamorphosisConnections.com is an online directory of the best holistic and metaphysical practitioners to help you make your most informed choices. You can search MetamorphosisConnections.com for classes, events, wellness and life coaches, plus metaphysical products and shops. You can also search for a wide array of healers from all modalities, including EFT, sound healing, energy healing, light therapy, ancestral healing, shamanic healing, reflexology, past life regressions, hypnotherapy, yoga, and more. And if you're not sure where to start, the search feature on MetamorphosisConnections.com is tailored to help both those who know what they are looking for and those who are just starting. Come explore the possibilities for your higher self by visiting MetamorphosisConnections.com. Their experienced practitioners can guide both beginners and those that are already on their spiritual journey. That's MetamorphosisConnection.com, your link to direct you on your spiritual transformation.
And join me tomorrow on GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun. We're going to have on author Susan B. Martinez. She's going to be talking about her book, Field Guide to the Spirit World, The Science of Angel Power, Discarnate Entities, and Demonic Possession. We're going to be talking with her tomorrow. Should be a very interesting conversation, but we're finishing up the hour here. We are talking about Paganicon 2024. Once again, if you haven't registered for this event, please go to tcpaganpride.org. Go there, sign up, get into the event. You can hear just a small amount of what's happening over that weekend with our guest tonight. And we want to wrap up here also with Witch Jody. And before we get that, I do want to also say, I don't think we really even said where this is happening. It's going to be at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Minneapolis West. It's going to be 3131 Campus Drive in Plymouth. Right. It's a fantastic venue. I've been to a number of conventions over there. It's really pretty cool. So Lori and Cindy, nice job at always having it at that place. That's a fun location. Yeah, you don't need to answer. That's fine. This is just
it is a fun location. Yeah. And there'll be great food options. We've got the hotel is very nice about putting together special foods for our events, and they're very accommodating for our events. So it's I will have to warn people though, if you're looking for overnight accommodations at the hotel, we are booked. We've got so many people coming to the conference. We are booked. There is a waiting list. You can call the hotel, and information is on the website where you can call the hotel and see if there are any last minute cancellations or if you can get on a waiting list. We do have a secondary hotel set up for people who weren't able to get accommodations.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if you come to the hotel, you will see nothing but pagans.
Absolutely.
Wall to wall.
Now,
we're fun.
Lynette asked, where is the event? Hopefully we just answered that for you. And now someone who is supposed to be on the program but didn't make it to us tonight, Michael Laughing Fox Sherratt says, Native American flute music and storytelling Friday night. Looking forward to meeting everyone and taking part in the conversation. And you are missed tonight, but I'm glad that we're able to kind of talk about some of the stuff that Michael Laughing Fox is going to be taking on as well. I mean, it just sounds, there are so many facets to this weekend that there is no need to leave the place.
No.
And like we said for Dr. Beverly, we're not going to graveyards.
No.
So,
I was going to say, where is there a graveyard close to it?
Well, it depends on what time of day 494 is. That's kind of a graveyard in a sense. So,
indeed.
And I just want to say about Michael. Michael is the one of two acts on the Friday night concert. The other one on Friday night concert is Wendy Rule. And she is amazing. This will be her third time at Paganicon. And so we're always excited to have her. She's not only a knowledgeable presenter, but she's got a voice that just takes you to another place. It's just so... It's just so mystical and magical, and you're listening, and it's like, wow. So,
I mean, that's fantastic. I mean, it is really exciting. I am so excited for all of you to be able to do your thing, if you will. But who we haven't spoke to yet is Miss Witch Jody, who has been on the program a number of times. We've talked about all sorts of different stuff with you. Good to see you, Jody. How are things been?
You know what? I'm better. Can you hear? I'm actually well. I've been sick for 7 weeks, guys. I had that horrible virus that was going around, but Paganicon is very dear to my heart, as Lori and Cindy know. I have been involved with Paganicon before it was even internal. I mean, we go back to Victoria. In fact, I am so involved with this. I'm not on the panel or anything as far as like the board. I am teaching 3 classes. I've been a presenter every year except for the very first year, and of course 2020. I'm teaching 3 classes, 2 on Friday. One is magical housekeeping. One is accessing your Akashic records and taking yourself to a higher level. And of course on Sunday, I am teaching herbal cauldron. Let's take it. It's like kicking it up a notch. I can't even remember the name of it, but I am going to take you on an adventure that you don't even know what's happening until you get there. I'm going to be doing candles. I'm going to be doing all sorts of stuff. And my classes go from anything from beginning stages all the way up to advanced practitioners. I work with all of you. As Greg knows, I have a store now in Stillwater a couple of years. I'm coming up in 2 years, you guys. So it's like the one-stop shop for all your witchcraft needs right there in Stillwater. But beyond that, Paganicon, not only is it dear to my heart, Lori and I go way back. A very dear friend of ours we lost almost 3 years ago, and her name is Victoria Greenbush. I actually started a scholarship in her name. So for people who are not quite fortunate enough to be able to pay for a whole weekend ride there, I provide 2 scholarships, and they were divvied out to people. There's a panel that I don't see it. I don't know anything about it. I just know that I donate for this. It was very important to me to be able to give back to the community. And that's what Paganicon is. We come together as a community. We help one another. We learn from one another. And what a beautiful thing to be able to do, where you pay to come into this event and everything is basically free as far as classes, rituals, going to the dances. You meet so many people, all walks of life. I mean, I became friends with Dr. Beverly back in 2019. We had a grand night. We had so much fun. Couldn't hear over the band, but we had a heck of a good time.
That band was crazy.
Yes. But Laura Tempest Zorcraft is coming in. She's an amazing author. We have great authors coming to this. She's actually coming to my store on the 18th and doing a workshop. She reached out to me. But when this community was built years back, it really was a staple for those of people who were just going out and seeking and learning. And, Evo, my gosh, you've been doing this for way longer than me. I've been practicing with you guys almost 50 years. And
wow.
Yeah. And I've actually gone to Salem and studied under Lori Cabot herself. I'm a 2nd degree Cabot witch. I am a priestess in the Cabot Kent Hermetic Temple in Salem. I didn't go out there until 2016 is when I met her. And I'm also an RN, an herbalist, a Reiki master. I've been living and breathing this culture my entire life. And all I want to do is share. This is for everybody. And it doesn't matter what lineage you want to fall under, whether it's Celtic or Nordic or, Druid. We have so much fun together, you guys.
We do. And I just wanted to say something about the scholarship fund that you were mentioning, because actually there are a total of 16 people that are going due to donations. So if you do register, make sure you donate because that's how people can go who can't normally afford to go. In fact, it was Evo on the drive that I gave him to the airport in, I think it was 2018, who gave me suggestions about how to run a scholarship fund. And I'm like, you guys, we can do this. And there you go.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And I do sponsorships for different pagan things in the community, and I always sponsor Paganicon. It is very, like I said, near and dear to my heart. The panel, my God, Lori, you and Cindy, Becky, Wendy, all of you, I don't know how y'all do it.
It's about 2 hours of sleep today.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And I'm like, oh heavens, no, not this.
I think there's something that it's kind of a point there too that I think is very important for people to know that, if it's so easy when you talk about conventions and stuff. At first, some people might be like cash grab, and it's like there's nothing cash grab about this. This is a way of life. This is a community. This is also a way to, through the scholarships, through other ways, to be able to get more people involved because they know that they are taken care of by joining into this community and taking the time to learn everything that Paganicon has to offer, because it's a great starting point, and it's a great way to make your friends and figure out like what works for you, because there's so many different ways to kind of see that.
Exactly. It's a perfect way to dabble,
Yeah.
dabble.
Yes.
I saw a few things on the schedule that I might dabble in. I mean, I know I have responsibilities, but there were a couple of things that really looked attractive to me. And so I suggest people to try something that you may not have even thought about before.
Yes.
And I agree with
Great
that.
idea.
I mean, so many people walking into my store who are new to this. That's the first thing I do. I'm checking out. Have you heard of Paganicon? Have you heard of Pagan Pride? I give them the website. I teach people about it, because if you are just dabbling and you really don't know what way to go, this is a great opportunity. You get, so many different cultures coming in, and you can have that moment and go check out, different things and see what fits, what feels good. It's about that feeling.
I find it interesting. Janet writes, thanks to all of you for your information, compassion, love from Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Oh, hi.
Wow.
It must be freezing up there.
And Janet, all I'm going to say is there's plenty of time to get to Minneapolis.
Start driving now.
Does your car work underwater? That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, we get them. Thank you, Janet, by the way, for putting a comment in there. That is pretty cool. Let's see here. Michael put in his URL.
Yep.
laughingfox.bandcamp.com.
Yep.
And you know what? I think that's fantastic. I think while we have a few minutes left, I think everyone should let everyone know how they can get a hold of you beyond Paganicon. Thank you I'm glad someone's hosting this show. It's certainly not going to be me, clearly. So, first and foremost, this weekend, tcpaganpride.org to go to Paganicon, which is located at the Crown Plaza, Minneapolis West Hotel. You can go ahead, get your tickets there. Once again, you won't be able to stay at that hotel per se, but there are overflows that you can check out as well. I went to a convention there, Crypticon, and I had to stay at the overflow, and it's hardly overflowing. It's not far at all. You don't feel disconnected, so it's definitely it's fine. Now, Dr. Beverly, how can people get a hold of you?
Yes, thank you. You can email me at info@docbev.com. That's info@docbev.com. Also, I have a website that I am working on kind of upgrading and making it a little nicer. And it's www.bev.com.
.bev.com?
No, www.bev.com.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get everyone's information. Maybe Lori can help me with that, so I can put it in my recap when I send this out to people, because that'd be the best way. Evo, what about you?
Pretty easy. My whole last name, evodominguezjr.com.
And
with my name, it's pretty easy to find me if you Google.
This guy's been around
a while.
The year 1978 comes to mind.
Yeah. I'm 65 this year, so and I turned 65 this past December, so I'm officially an old timer.
Yeah.
Join the club, Evo. I turned 65 too.
Awesome.
You're never old, right? As long as this is working and you're feeling good, right?
Oh no. It's just a number.
Yeah, totally just a number. And by the way, folks, Evo is IVO. Okay, just know that.
Remember, in Spanish, an I sounds like an E. Evil.
That's right. That's right. And then, which Jody, how can folks get a hold of you and go to your shop?
So you can go to my website. I do have a website. It's www.midwestwitcheryhealing.com. You got to drop the and. Or you can actually come visit me in person. I actually have a brick and mortar store in downtown Stillwater. It's inside the Grand Garage. And that location is 324 Main Street South, suite number 7 and 9, and going to be suite 8. I took another one. I just keep expanding in Stillwater.
It's a very nice store. I've been there.
It is, yeah. And you can always give us a call at 651-342-1833. But yeah, come on in, and you know what? Hit me up over the weekend. Hit up all these beautiful people and souls, and let us know how we can help you.
And for those of you who may remember, we did the live paranormal investigation over at the Grand Garages, which is, as Jody says, which is where her store is located. So, it's a cool place. It's a good store. Definitely go and check it out as well. Cindy or Lori, do you have any kind of closing thoughts, closing words for this hour?
I would just like to say, if you've been listening to these three here, that's just a taste of all the wonderful people that you will see at Paganicon. I mean, there's so many, and that's what really is so unique about the Paganicon experience. You've got people coming together and they're sharing their knowledge and they're creating community, and we're just having a good time and creating connections, getting inspiration, getting people to, ask questions and get answers, all that good stuff.
And that's where we're going to have to leave it. Once again, go to tcpaganpride.org. Sign up for Paganicon. We hope to see you all this weekend. Thank you all.
Thank you.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.